All right, welcome back to Ben's Book Club. Today, we are diving deep into a modern classic, The Hard Thing About Hard Things.
Now, let me just say, if you're looking for a business book packed with easy formulas and happy-go-lucky advice, this is not it. This is a brutally honest, no-holds-barred guide for leaders navigating the messy reality of running a company when there are no easy answers.
Ben Horowitz makes it super clear right from the get-go this is not some manual on how to do things perfectly. He basically argues that most management advice, all those clean case studies and neat little frameworks, they just completely fall apart when things get truly, truly chaotic.
Instead, this book is all about what to do when everything goes sideways. We're talking about those moments when you're about to run out of cash, when you have to fire people you genuinely care about, or when that brilliant strategy you bet the company on has totally failed. This is the playbook for when there is no playbook.
And this quote right here, wow, it just perfectly captures the core problem, doesn't it? Horowitz says the decisions that really test you are the ones where your gut is screaming one thing, but all the logic points in another direction. Being a great leader is about learning how to navigate that internal war.
So this leads us right into the first massive concept in the book. It's a feeling that pretty much every founder and CEO knows intimately, even if they don't have a name for it. He calls it the struggle.
So what is the struggle? Horowitz defines it as that terrifying, stomach-churning moment of pure existential dread. It's when the weight of all the responsibility is so crushing that you can't even remember why you started this crazy journey in the first place. And he's clear, it's not a sign of weakness. It's just part of the job. What's really interesting here is how personal he makes it. This isn't some abstract business theory. It's the raw, lonely, psychological burden of being the one person in the room who absolutely cannot afford to panic, even when you are secretly terrified the whole thing is about to come crashing down.
This whole idea of survival builds directly into one of the book's most famous frameworks. Horowitz says that to get through the struggle, a leader has to understand the environment they're operating in, and that brings us to the two distinct CEO modes, peacetime versus wartime.
So, in peacetime, the company is doing well. The goal is all about growth, expanding the market, and building a great culture. But in wartime? Well, in wartime, the company is fighting for its very life. The CEO has to become paranoid, brutally decisive, because survival is the only mission that matters. Horowitz's key insight here is that the most crucial skill is knowing which mode you're in and being able to switch between them in a heartbeat. And this really makes you think, doesn't it? In a business culture that so often celebrates that visionary peacetime leader, do we maybe undervalue the gritty, survival-at-all-costs mindset of a wartime CEO? Are we preparing leaders for the wrong kind of battle? Okay, so you've identified that you're in the struggle, and you know if it's peacetime or wartime. So, what do you actually do? Well, this next section is all about the practical and often deeply uncomfortable actions a leader has to take. First up, radical honesty. And Horowitz is not messing around here. He's adamant. You have to tell your team the truth, especially when the news is bad. Your people are smart. They almost always know something's wrong anyway. Hiding the truth just creates paranoia and kills trust. Being transparent, even when it's scary, actually builds a stronger team because everybody knows exactly what they're up against. And while you're in that fight, this is your order of operations. Notice, profits are last, not first. It's always people first. Why? Because a great team can fix a broken product, and a great product can eventually lead to profits. But if you sacrifice your best people for short-term financial gains, you'll end up with nothing in the long run. The order here, it's everything. This might be the single most famous, and certainly the most blunt, quote in the entire book. What he means is, when you have to make a truly awful decision, like conducting a layoff, you have to do it once, do it decisively, and get it over with. Dragging it out, doing lots of small cuts, that's the nibbling, and it absolutely destroys morale for everyone, even the people who get to stay. So all of this, all these hard truths and tough actions, they lead to the final, overarching philosophy of the book. It's not about trying to find a clever way to avoid the hard things. It's all about developing the right mindset to face them head on. I think this is such a powerful idea. Courage is not about being fearless. When the company's future's on the line, everybody is scared. The hero and the coward feel the exact same terror. The only difference is that the hero takes action despite the fear, while the coward lets the fear paralyze them.
And at the end of the day, your team is going to judge you on your actions, not on how you feel.
And that leaves us with a pretty big question to chew on, doesn't it? Is this brutally honest perspective a necessary dose of reality for anyone in a high-stakes leadership job? Or does it, maybe, end up glorifying all the pain and suffering, making it seem like a mandatory rite of passage? It's definitely something worth thinking about.
Phew, so much to unpack from Ben Horowitz. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more like it, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss an episode.